The show starts in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the AEW Dynamite post show. It's your boy ABE from DET, representing for the Holy Shhh Podcast. What a show, what a show, what a show. It seems like we've been saying this every week. Dynamite is on a roll. They're getting these storylines together. They already have wrestling together, but now they are putting storyline to wrestling, and we are getting quality shows on a weekly basis. That's why I had to jump on here live. No pre-recorded this week. I wanted to jump right into it. So let's do that and start off with the beginning of the show where we got MJF defeats Kyle Fletcher and afterwards lays out the ref, grabs the diamond ring and knocks out Kyle Fletcher. In the back, Will Ospreay, he couldn't make it to the ring for the save because somebody put crates in front of his door, so he was delayed. MJF then grabs Kyle Fletcher and is about to end his damn career with the Tiger Driver 91, but then finally, Ospreay makes his way to the ring, making the save for Kyle Fletcher as MJF, of course, scurries off like the heel that he is. Now, this was one hell of a match. I said it last week. Kyle Fletcher is the understudy to Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay is the greatest professional wrestler on the planet. So by default, you better look out for Kyle Fletcher. Why did I say Kyle O'Reilly? Kyle Fletcher is a damn threat, but shout out Kyle O'Reilly too. He is a threat as well. But Kyle Fletcher started to show off tonight and was absolutely incredible. He had stage presence. His ring moves was crisp, just like Ospreay. And he actually has some character to himself too. There was a moment where he was in the crowd. He put his arms up. The crowd went crazy for him because they was feeling it too. I know this was just a stepping stone for MJF to get on to Will Ospreay, but let's double back to this match in a few weeks from now. I think Kyle Fletcher set himself up for something incredible in the future here in AEW. Mark my words, Kyle Fletcher is a serious threat. But next up, Mariah May defeats Viva Van with Toni Storm's finisher, Storm Zero, and once again shows Toni she taught her too much and owes all of her moves. Afterwards, Toni has a picture as a gift delivered to Mariah May. She opens it. It's an old school photo of Toni Storm hugging her when they were in love and BFFs, but on the back in big bold letters, it says, "Die, Mariah, die." Then Toni Storm shows up. They go at it like two wild animals. It takes every single staff member possible to break this up. And I'm telling you, this has been one of the greatest builds in AEW history. And shout out Mariah May. She had some clean moves in this match. She started off with a headbutt that looked so real. She had a release German suplex on Viva that was just outstanding. Mariah May is not just a looker. She is a professional wrestler, ladies and gentlemen. We already know what Toni Storm is capable of. So at All In Wembley Stadium, this has the potential of being match of the night. Put money on it. 100% guarantee it. Next up, we got Shibata defeats Brian Keith. And side note, Brian Keith got these high-riser Daniel Cormier pants that like come up to here. Had me rolling. I'm telling you, I was not a fan of Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, when he came, but I am sold, signed, sealed, and delivered. I love this guy, 100%. But anyway, Shibata defeats Brian Keith, but afterwards, Big Bill and Jericho are jumping Shibata, getting revenge for the win. Then Hook finally makes his return after weeks of being out, recovering from the fireball thrown from Chris Jericho. He clears the house, saves Shibata, and makes it clear by grabbing the FTW title that he wants it back ASAP. And shout out Hook with the eye patch looking like Tongaloa up there. But hey, maybe it's a trend going around in wrestling. But Hook back set the whole building on fire. I did not realize how missed he was, but that crowd went insane. I know Taz was ringside, a proud father, like, look at my boy. Yes, Hook is back. All is well in the FTW division. Next up, Orange Cassidy and FTR get the win over Roderick Strong, Roosh, and Mortis. Yo, Mortis is a serious threat. He is a big man with a scary ass mask and some scary ass moves. People better acknowledge this man. He is for real. But anyway, they get the win over them, and afterwards the Acclaimed come down and face to face with FTR. Their mics aren't working. FTR, they try to do some type of rebuttal, but they are no mic technicians. So they threw the mic and said, to hell with this promo. Let's break down these security barriers and go at it. And that's exactly what they did. They cleared the house of all the security. Acclaimed, FTR go at it. They are setting up one hell of a number one contenders match that I think is going to be some shenanigans. And I think at All In, it will be a triple threat match. FTR, the Acclaim versus the Young Bucks, the 3 best tag teams in AEW history. Take my money now, Tony Khan. It's going to be a hell of a tag team match if that's the case, because I can't see them picking one. The Acclaim, they are the number one contender. FTR, we already know what they're capable of. It's no way you can possibly make the fans happy by letting one of them win this number one contender match next week. You have to have some shenanigans. Put them both in. Triple threat match for the tag team titles at All In. Man, this pay-per-view is stacking up. We always say it about AEW. They know how to do pay-per-views. They're learning how to do weekly shows, but they know how to do pay-per-views, and this is setting up to be an all-time classic. But next up, Christian and the Patriarch are backstage and announce on Collision there will be a number one contenders match between the House of Black and the Bang Bang Gang to see who challenges them for the trios title at All In. And Christian goes one step further to add a stipulation saying he wants a close look, so he will be the special guest ring enforcer ringside, aka, in the words of Ron T, shenanigans are coming soon. I don't know who I want to win this, House of Black or the Bang Bang Gang. I don't know. If I had to pick, I'd just say the House of Black, because with Switchblade being injured, I don't really care for Juice and the Guns together. I really like Jay White, how he was teaming with the Guns. They had great chemistry. I love Juice. I just want Switchblade in there. And if he's not there, give me the House of Black versus the Patriarch for the trios title at All In. Next up, we get the Brick House, Camille with Mercedes Moné ringside with her as she defeats two local jobbers in a handicap match. Just destroyed them. The look on these women's faces when they were getting announced, it's like they knew what was about to happen. They were embarrassed, but deep down inside, they should just be happy to be on TV. It's a stepping stone. One time, MJF was a security guard for Samoa Joe in NXT, and look at him now. You got to start somewhere, ladies. But they get smashed. Of course, Camille looks like an absolute animal. The perfect pairing with Mercedes Moné as a bodyguard. She just is incredible. She got great move set. She's a real wrestler. She's not just some big brute lady who they put in wrestling because she had a good look. She can wrestle. She is for real. She has a legitimate presence about herself. And when she starts to talk, you guys are going to be impressed. But of course, she gets the win, and afterwards, her and Mercedes are in the ring celebrating, and Britt Baker shows up on the screen and lets Mercedes know, you've been running shop since you came here at AEW, but at All In, I will be the first woman to defeat you and become the new TBS champion. I didn't believe it at first, but over time, as they're playing this story out, I'm starting to think Britt Baker may win this match. People just think that Mercedes Moné is going to win because she's got this contract they're saying where she has creative control, but Mercedes loves the business, and I believe she's going to do what's best for business, and what's best for business at All In is to hand that title over to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Please do. And if not, I won't be mad at it. Mercedes is on the road, so she can just stay on the road. It doesn't matter to me. But then we get the main event of the evening. Bryan Danielson defeats Jeff Jarrett in a street fight, backyard brawl, arena fight, whatever you want to call it. They were everywhere. They were in the stands. It was suplexes on garbage cans. It was popcorn thrown everywhere. I mean, this match was absolutely crazy, insane. I can't believe Jeff Jarrett, at his age, was taking bumps on straight up concrete like that. So shout out Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Afterwards, when Bryan Danielson gets the win, Ricky Steamboat comes out, the Blackpool Combat Club, I think it was just Yuta, they come out to celebrate, and out comes the heavyweight champion, Swerve Strickland. He gets in the ring with Bryan Danielson and lets him know, you were just in witness of 3 TBS champions, myself, Steamboat, and Jeff Jarrett, something that you will never be. He goes on to say, if you think fighting Jeff Jarrett the way you're beat up right now was a problem, just wait till you see me at All In. Then Swerve goes on to say he needs a tune-up match too, and he looks Yuta right in the face and says, I challenge you next week on Dynamite. Disrespectful, throws the mic at Yuta, and the show goes off with Swerve asking, whose house? Swerve's house, of course. I cannot wait for this match. I think twice tonight I've said potential match of the night, but this is Bryan Danielson. This is Swerve Strickland. This, in my eyes, could quite possibly be the #1 match of the night. And on a side note, there was a backstage segment with Hangman Page and Renee, and Hangman Page is seriously dedicated on taking that title off of Swerve Strickland. They just announced that they're going to have a casino gauntlet match at All In. The winner gets a championship match, and Hangman is in that match, which leads me to believe Bryan Danielson will be beat at All In. Hangman will win the gauntlet, and we will get the match that we wanted. Everyone, I know I respect Bryan Danielson. He is one of the GOATs. But when it comes to story building and the buildup, Hangman should be fighting Swerve. They've got history. When they're in the ring together at the, what was it called? Blood and Guts, just the stare down, the crowd going crazy. They want Hangman versus Swerve one more time, a lot more than they want Bryan Danielson versus Swerve. So I am praying that Swerve retains. Hangman wins the casino gauntlet match, and we get that pivotal Hangman versus Swerve rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship. Please, Tony Khan, if you're listening to me, Triple H be listening to our show. He be playing out our stuff on Raw that we'll be predicting. I'm telling you, Tony, if you're listening, please give us Swerve, give us Hangman for the World Heavyweight Championship. But on a scale of 1 to 10, we still in the 9s. I'm giving tonight's show a 9.4. They did what they were supposed to do. They built up the matches for All In. They made the weaker look stronger. They kept things rolling. Storylines were there. The wrestling was there. Tony Khan, you're doing the damn thing. Shout out AEW for getting their things together. But that's it for me tonight. Next time you will see us all will be Friday for the post show, Friday Night SmackDown. We might have a special guest in the building, so stay tuned for that. But until then, y'all know who it is. It's your boy, ABE, and you're tuned in to the Holy Shhh Podcast. Yeah.